Hey, thanks for checking out this video. My name is Ryan Cushman. I'm a realtor and investor in North Georgia, and I'm focused on helping you analyze and find properties in the North Georgia mountain market that will provide cash flow and ultimately a better lifestyle for you and your family. Today, I'm going to dive into an analysis to help you practice these skills of analyzing properties in the North Georgia mountains. And if you would like to take a deeper dive with me, explore purchasing or use any of our expert services to help you in your journey, or access more tools and resources, please book a call with me at ryancushman.com. The property we want to take a look at today is in Helen, Georgia, like I mentioned. This is a great little German town. All right, so let's check out the map here. This is a little bit zoomed in here on the town of Helen. If we zoom out here, just to give you some perspective of where it's located, we've got Atlanta down here. We've got Blue Ridge right here, LJ right here, and up past Lake Lanier a ways, past a town called Cleveland, Georgia, not to be confused with Cleveland, Ohio. We can find the small, quaint, cool little town called Helen, Georgia. It's a little German town. Here's Helen's website. As you can see, it's got the Bavarian architecture, and it's got some zip lines, great little shopping, dining in town. There's also a little water park right there in town. And it, of course, just kills it during October for Oktoberfest. And it stays relatively busy throughout the year. It's a big fall time destination, but it does pretty well in spring and summer for investment properties. So you'll also see some of the pictures when you just Google Helen, Georgia. There's also a handful of tubing businesses that drop you off in the river right there in Helen, and then of course pick you up. So there are some great things about this little town. So the property that I selected today is 49 Baum Weg in Helen. A lot of the street names in town are like German names, which is cool. And I like this property for a lot of reasons, one of which is its location. It's really close to the main drag here in Helen. And also the way that it has been recently renovated and fixed up. It looks just really, really good. If we look at the sales history, we can tell this was a recent flip. It was bought in January, just a couple of months ago, for $285, and then just relisted 2 months later, so a couple of weeks ago, at $500K. And in the description here, we can see that it's been newly renovated. It's got a new roof, new gutters, new paint, LVP flooring, and bathrooms redone. And it shows. The property looks really good. So we'll click through a couple of these pictures. It's nice to know that we've got a new roof. That can be expensive if the property's at the end of its life. And we can see that it looks nice in there. It looks great. New appliances. It looks like it may not be coming with a fridge, so that's something we would have to factor in. Nice decor. Yellow door, blue paint. I don't know if that'd be my selection, but it goes to some extent with the vibe of the town, with it, having kind of some of the colorful buildings in town with the Bavarian architecture. I don't know if this necessarily matches with the Bavarian architecture, but here we are. Yellow door, blue paint. It'll certainly have its appeal to some folks. And if you hate it, then paint isn't that big a deal. Not overly expensive. Now we take a look here at the decks. There is no hot tub currently, as I was clicking through some of them. So that's something that we would definitely want to get added to the property, and I'll show you why the ROI on that is really strong. So interior, the beam in here looks great. This accent wall above the fireplace looks awesome. And the kitchen looks slick. This screened-in porch is great. And when we go into the bedrooms, bathroom looks nice. One thing I thought was a little odd was these unfinished ceilings. may not be that big a deal. And this is, the bunk room. Thought it was just a little odd, but probably something that most folks could look past. Certainly wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. Bathroom downstairs looks great. And looks like we also have this common space with like a bar. I think we maybe want to add some amenities, some games, or even, replace this and turn this into like a theater type room or something. Make it pop a little bit more than it does currently. And yeah, so that is the property. For the most part, as you can see here, the ideal location for a hot tub probably would be in this corner over here. And the decks, the layout, I think are good. It's got some covered parking. So that is the property. Lots to like about it for sure. And so as we look at the analysis for this property, they recently did a price cut of about $15K. You'll also, if you recall, they bought this property for $290. They bought this property for $285 just a couple of months ago, and then presumably spent some amount of money in renovating it. How much that may have cost, I don't know. Hard to speculate on that. But my point is that they probably have quite a bit of margin and may be willing to come down a bit further than what they've already come down, the $15K. So speculation, I don't know that to be true. So if you take into account the cost of some of these updates, it was probably a pretty extensive update because everything looks pretty new. Flooring, new kitchen, bathrooms, paint, roof, all that can add up. But I would imagine they still have some margin, quite a bit of margin baked into this flip. So let's take a look at what Rabu is telling us. All right. So this is the default. Couple of things that if you've watched any of my other videos, I like to make some adjustments right out of the gate. I don't like comparing myself to other comps that have below a 4-star rating, because anything below a 4, even anything below a 4.5 is not doing well. So 4 is the minimum here. And then I also want to open up the radius a little bit so that we include a lot more comps that also are in this market. I also don't want to compare myself to properties that have no reviews. I want them to have at least some. So I want to probably just set it at 5 or 10. Hard to say what is necessarily the right answer there. But we want to compare ourselves to 3 bedrooms, and we'll just see what that does for us. Okay, so this is the better default, where it includes a wider range of properties and excludes any properties that are not doing well as far as getting below 4 stars on average. So this number is not overly compelling. And remember, this is the law of averages. So we've got every property that's making nothing on an annual basis to those properties that are really doing well, making $7,400 a month. So, or $6,700 a month. So let's do one more thing with the assumption that we are going to budget in adding a hot tub to this property, because we are, and I'll show you. So just remember this number over here. It was like $34,700. We do one thing by adding a hot tub, and on average, it's almost paid for itself in 1 year. It's probably going to cost a little bit more than the $6,000 or $7,000 that in increase of estimated annual revenue, but that's $6,000 or $7,000 in year 1. And so think about that spread over 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That starts to add up, and the ROI on that becomes really compelling. So we want to make sure that we get that hot tub added. So now we're comparing ourselves to properties that have hot tubs. Let's see if there's anything else in here that we want to click. I don't think we do. Another thing we may want to consider is adding pets, making ourselves pet friendly. So let's see what that does. 47,000. So it goes from 41.5 to 47. So that's another $6,000 a year in allowing pets, and most of that can be profit. So you then add pet fees on top of this, and you account for those pet fees to take care of any damages, property damages, scratching, paint, or whatever. Then you're definitely setting yourself up for success. So that's the baseline of. This is the average of 3-bedroom properties that also have hot tubs that also allow for pets. So things are looking pretty well. Now, if we perform a top 75th percentile of 3-bedroom properties that have pets and hot tubs, this property's making $75K. Let's unselect pets, because some people just can't get around allowing their properties to be pet friendly. Let's see what it does, and just have the hot tub and see what we look like in the 75th percentile. So if we click 75th percentile, 70. Still probably a great deal, still probably worth it. And if you can't get yourself to be pet friendly, it's only $5K a year you're giving up. And at $70K in revenue, you're doing well on this property. Okay, let's check out the deal calculator now. Again, this is a free resource on my website, ryancushman.com. We can take a look at what the numbers are telling us for this property. We've got the list price plugged in here, closing costs of about 3%. I have a combined reno and furnishing setup cost amount of about $25,000. We got to account for a hot tub. That's a non-negotiable, and that can run anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 or $11,000, depending on the size and the brand and style of the hot tub, along with the cost of running the electrical to wherever the hot tub needs to be. If the panel is really far away, that cost can get creep up a little bit more, just with the cost of running the electrical and the copper wiring, etc. So that is almost half of this, or could be close to half of this amount. And if we want to add any sort of additional amenities in that common space downstairs, whether we convert that into a theater room or just really blow it up and make it like an awesome game room experience, we want to just have in our minds, hopefully we have the budget to be able to do some of that stuff so that we can stand out and really make those pictures up for this listing. Okay, so that's accounted for. I estimate that this will turn anywhere from 5 to 7 times per month. I did have a property in Helen for a time, and this was approximately what I experienced for that market. We have a good, better, best plugged in here. Before we get there, though, I want to just kind of run through some of these monthly expenses. We are not located in HOA with this property, and these are just ballparks, approximations. I think this insurance and taxes are relatively close, but you want to account for maybe $100 a month in maintenance on the hot tub. I don't know. That's actually probably a little high. So I'd maybe back this off to like 75. Okay. So you don't have to be perfect. You just want to be directionally correct with some of these things. All right. So if we look at our good, better, best scenario, I plugged these in based on what Rabu was telling us. And again, Rabu is just a barometer. You're taking in the averages of what is available for this this tool to be able to scrape from the platforms. And some of these some of the data can be flawed. Properties could have large stretches of time where they are occupied by the owner and therefore not on the market for short-term rent. And that can skew the data for that given property. So you just have to take that into account that this is a barometer. Okay. All right. So then based on the baseline average where we included a hot tub with the comparables that Rabu provided for us, we estimated that we were going to be making about $41,000 a year. And with that number, we are pretty much coming close to breaking even. So that's a good sign. If you can beat the average, or if you can just be average, you're reaping the benefits of owning real estate from a tax standpoint. The rent money that you're getting is paying down the mortgage, and over time that property will appreciate in value, and it's just a win in a lot of ways, even if we're not cash flowing. So not bad for just being average in the market. If we can be a little better than average, if we in the 75th percentile in this market, we blow up. I mean, the rent numbers look really strong, and so we're then making about over $2,000 a month. So this is a really compelling property, probably the most compelling one that I've done so far. And if we include pets and we are performing in the 90th percentile, we might be able to get up into the 80s. Actually, I fully believe that this property could get up into the 80s. And in that scenario, we're cash flowing a few grand a month. This property is really compelling. A lot I like about it, not just from a rent standpoint, but also from an aesthetics and lifestyle asset standpoint. This is a cool property in a cool place. So thank you again for watching, sticking with me the whole way through. If you'd like to explore getting into the game, whether it's with this property or any other property in the North Georgia mountain market, let me help you. Happy to take the swing with you and help you analyze and get the right deal. Go ahead and give me a call or schedule a call by visiting my website, ryancushman.com. And again, you can also access a couple of free resources, including that deal calculator. And let's take the next steps and help get that perfect investment property for you and your family. And of course, stay tuned for more deal reviews that are coming to this channel. Appreciate you checking us out, and we'll see you next time.